Other interesting cultural news that you have the Daily Wire fired or parted ways was Candace Owens with Jeremy Boring's tweet, and we review the top comments. Well, nevertheless. So this is from Jerry Boring's ex-Twitter profile, and he simply said, Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship, unquote. And as youth might say, viral to say the least. And it has had time for the engagement to fully, had time for the statistics to gather, so to say. This isn't 2 minutes after he posted it, it's actually a couple days. And within 48 hours, it got 13.5 million views and 28,000 likes. Now, for Jeremy Boring, again, he's the co-founder CEO of the Daily Wire, which is, they say it's a fast-growing conservative media company, which it probably is. There's not a lot of other competitors, and they have well over 300 employees, which is extremely impressive when you look at how difficult it is to actually grow a media company and make a profit in a media company. It's astronomically difficult. Most of the podcasts you see will inevitably crash and burn. Very few of them actually make money, let alone make enough money to actually grow the business. Now, it's especially impressive. He got 13.5 million views. Jeremy, has more followers than me, but relatively speaking, he doesn't have a lot of followers. I mean, on Twitter, he has 443.9 thousand followers, which again, relative to the people who viewed the post, that is astronomical. And going to his other previous post, the only thing that's gotten really more views than that statement was when they released their movie called Lady Ballers, which is a comedy in which they, address the big elephant in the room, where they just say have a bunch of failed adult male athletes go compete with women, and of course they inevitably destroy them because biology is a thing. That got 24 million views, or actually let me scroll to the top. So close, 26 million views and 70,000 likes. So that was for his movie. And yet, this was 13.5 million views and 28,000 likes. So not a very successful tweet, or not very well received, to say the least. Now, she is perhaps their most controversial member, or honestly, not your brand ambassador, but one of their most popular podcasters. And I think she brought in a very unique audience. When you look at the other major podcasters or talents at the Daily Wire, of course, you have Ben Shapiro, who's the co-founder of the company. You also have Michael Knowles. You also have Matt Walsh. Then you have the comment section with Brett Cooper. Then you have Jordan Peterson. And then you had Candace Owens, who, again, she has a very unique voice, and I think she brought in a different audience, which for them is extremely beneficial because they allowed them to exponentially grow their customer base because, again, you want to have the most wide, diverse audience, and that's how one of the ways you can grow it is just hire someone who can bring around their own audience. Now, I can't help but suspect most of the responses will be ratioing Jeremy, as the youth might say, and pejorative and not agreeing with it. And there's a lot of rumors, maybe they simply parted ways. Like you said, a lot of people are speculating maybe they paid Candace Owens out of her remaining contract. Because again, there's a lot, Ben Shapiro was publicly disagreeing with her stance on in terms of politics, and not to dive into it too deeply, but she was much more America first. And Ben Shapiro, who, again, spoiler alert, his family, I forget if he is from, but I know he's obviously famously Orthodox or Jewish. He's very much in support of having the United States as well as Israel protect themselves and actually, fight the evil powers of Hamas. And Candace Owens is saying she thinks the U.S. should put more resources in putting America first. That was high level, the big conflict and the disagreement in their philosophies. And then you also have, I forget the rabbi, but she was also verbally sparring with a rabbi who I would kind of say you could easily argue he's morally vacuous to start an adult toy company with his daughter. That, to me, that is unusual and disgusting to say the least. Now, going to the comments, one of the first ones comes from The Quartering, and he says, quote, saw this coming a mile away, big con is real, and quoting 6.7 thousand likes. You also have Paul Zupa saying, quote, the Daily Wire fired their most prominent black employees, not a good look. Candace was also one of the DW's most popular employees of any race. You guys should have worked out the situation. I'm quoting 798 likes, which, again, I think they did have an improv sit-down with Jeremy Boring, Candace, and Ben, and it's not Jordan. It eludes me at the moment, but there's actually a co-CEO who's less public-facing, where Jeremy Boring, he is, to me, a lot of the face of the company. He does a lot of public statements. Not Corbin. It eludes me at the moment, but there's another gentleman who's also had his leadership position at the company, and they had to sit down months ago because, again, another controversy was Candace Owens was interviewing Kanye West, and Ben Shapiro was very much not a fan of that. You also have Carmine Sabia saying, quote, as a pro-Israel podcaster, the things she has said have been extremely offensive to me and others. Unquote, getting 215 likes. So we already have a contrarian statement, making life a little more interesting. Actually, when I scroll to the top, I'm just curious. All right. I was curious to see if Jeremy actually hid any responses or anything. Because, again, when you go on X Twitter, there's a little square at the bottom right of a statement or a post. And that'll tell you, like, click here to see the hidden responses, which are from the actual post creator. Going down, you also have Keith Woods getting 18,000 likes. Now, Keith Woods says, quote, disgraceful, like all establishment conservatives, your belief in free speech ends at the criticism of Zionism. We stand with Candace, unquote. That's quite a lot of likes. 18,000. Let's see here. TGE says, OFC they did, which thanks to the Urban Dictionary, I know that means O of F. It means of F and course they did. And that is a screenshot also of Kanye West, who's, I forgot. His name is Ye, or he changed it. And he says, he and Ye, it sounds so close together, it's bound to cause confusion. But nevertheless, Ye says, who do you think created cancel culture, unquote. That was from 2022. That got 5.5 thousand likes. A hypocrite says, quote, her speech a little too free, huh? Unquote, getting 11,000 likes. David Santa Clara saying, quote, proving once again who can be criticized and who cannot. Just hire Greenblatt already for the new shitty Wire show. We know what's going on. Unquote, getting 2.5 thousand likes. Salty Cracker, which A+ for marketing, their profile picture is in fact of a cracker. And Salty Cracker says, quote, wanted to crush Disney only to become them. Unquote, getting 1.5 thousand likes. You have Michael Scaglione saying, quote, to learn who rules you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. Unquote, getting 6.7 thousand likes. And incidentally reminds me, if you can click that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a theory, granted I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but the more subscriptions and subscribers I've gained, the better my speaking abilities have improved. Some might say it's just a modicum of improvement. However, look at the very first couple episodes. I spoke a lot faster, believe it or not, stumbled over my words and mispronounced a lot of things. And slowly but surely it's gotten a little better. So as I attempted to finish that quote and start a little bit, if you can click that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. It might prevent that in the future. Again, it's just a working theory I have, and I'd also greatly appreciate it. Which again, I believe that quote went viral for Elon Musk saying it last year? And I believe the quote came from an anti-Semite, which is why it also became so controversial. I think it was Voltaire, but the name eludes me at the moment. You also have E, known as Elijah Schaefer, saying, quote, the Daily Wire cares only about two things. They aren't America or Christianity. Unquote, 2.6 thousand likes. Jacob Daniel Winograd says, quote, guess Ben Shapiro's feelings, don't care about the facts. Unquote, 6.4 thousand likes. Kevin Smith says, quote, wow, me and my Daily Wire subscription have also ended their relationship. Unquote, 2.3 thousand likes. Dragon Banero said, quote, and I just ended my subscription, getting 2.8 thousand likes. Anomaly says, quote, everyone in conservative media knows you get blacklisted, smeared, fired, canceled, badmouthed, behind the scenes, and harassed if you don't abide by the anti-Semitism speech laws that being passed into legislation, quoting 2.5 thousand likes. Chief Trumpster says, quote, shame on you, we stand with Candace, and quoting 2.9 thousand likes. Let's see here. George Alexandropoulos says, quote, good for her, you guys suck anyway. Getting 8.9 thousand likes. Jay Shields says, quote, I thought Daily Wire cared about free speech, and quoting 8.3 thousand likes. D-Day Cobra says, quote, a very Hollywood move from Daily Wire, big con is real. Major W for Candace, I'm quoting 4.3 thousand likes. And again, I'm just reading these in order as I see them. Not a lot of contrarian statements thus far, or statements supporting Jeremy Boring. You also have Classic Theist saying, quote, we stand with Candace, Christ is King, unquoting 5.7 thousand likes. Jamie, American flag and Canada flag, says, quote, this is a loss for Daily Wire and a W for Candace, unquoting 9.1 thousand likes. And there's a lot of speculation that, because again, a lot of these contracts, they have guarantees built in. A lot of people are saying, well, Candace was probably most likely paid out for her contract. Given the timing, a lot of people are suspecting that this wasn't an example of them, they had their renewal coming up and they had to renegotiate and they simply just chose to part ways. There's a lot of speculation saying maybe they had to pay her out anywhere between $6 and $10 million to buy her out of this contract, to basically get rid of her. Now you also have, let's see here, Cassandra McDonald saying, quote, massive L for Daily Wire, getting 5.7 thousand likes. Smug Guy Grappier says, quote, W Candace Owens, getting 4.8 thousand likes. 9mm SMG says, quote, stay tuned for a possible Rabbi Shmuley hour in her place, unquote, getting 7.8 thousand likes. Noble says, quote, so your anchors can question anything except Jews in Israel. This is how people start to notice, unquote, getting 4.6 thousand likes. Now, that being said, I'm pretty sure the subject to lose me, but I think, I want to say Matt Walsh has said some contrarian things that the rest of the Daily Wire crew did not agree with. Let me know in the comments if you remember what particular subject matter that was, though. You also have Ray simply saying W Candace getting 5,000 likes. You have Norm Cruz saying good for Candace getting 2,000 likes. Leather Apron Club says, quote, in before her, sir, in B4? That's one word, INB and the number F. Nevertheless, I'll continue this attempted quote, grammar be damned. Her career solo is 10x as successful. People are sick of the gatekeepers, unquote, getting 2.6 thousand likes, which, again, I mean, there's not, in terms of gatekeepers, anyone can launch a YouTube or a Rumble show these days. And shoot, look at me, anyone can do it. You also have Richard Persielli saying, quote, the Jewish organization shut her down for not towing line. Christ is King, and quoting 2.9 thousand likes. Let's see here. Again, I'm trying to see if there's... let's see. What? Let's see. It's time to dump influencers. Again, I'm scrolling hard more and more. I mean, overwhelming support for Candace. I mean, this might be the #1 ratio that Jeremy Boring's ever seen. Ever. Let's see here. Red Wave Press also said, wow, I thought this would have happened months ago. I'm surprised it took this long. I'm getting 254 likes. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, there are a lot of people commenting that they're going to cancel their subscriptions. They're not happy. I wonder at the end of the day, what would the effect be on the business as well as the reputation? Subscriptions, a lot of people, well, at least I know anecdotally, the industry's trend. When you buy these subscriptions, a lot of people pay for 1 year up front because you get a little bit of a discount. It'll be fascinating to see what's the immediate effect it'll have on Daily Wire's business if there are a lot of people who are subscribing month to month, which is, again, is great for Daily Wire's monthly recurring revenue, but that also makes them more susceptible to things like canceling your subscription, out of the blue. Whereas, if you paid for a year's worth of Daily Wire in January, well, they still have they still have a majority of the year to figure out how they're going to replace your lost revenue if you do choose not to renew at that time. And on average, renewal rates are pretty high when it comes to a lot of subscriptions. That's why businesses love them. Let me know in the comments. I mean, she definitely, I think, has a unique voice. It'd be fascinating. I think probably going to be independent. Maybe she'll go with Tucker Carlson or maybe someone like Patrick Bet-David. As we've seen Patrick Bet-David starting to ramp up the talent pool on his team, trying to get more and more people on the roster. But I think in terms of, who's going to be happiest at the end of the day, I also suspect both parties are going to be happier, considering, again, Candace really prefers to be much more independent. She does not like being told what to do. She has a very unique voice, and she gains millions of views. She's extremely successful at what she does. And I don't think she probably appreciated the Daily Wire, which I would get, I only have to guess. We've seen, some of these instances where they've asked her to pull back in certain messaging, and they've asked her to maybe not do certain interviews. So I suspect both parties will be happy at the end of the day. And again, the Daily Wire is still the most successful, I think, independent media company would come out there. So it might hurt their growth maybe a little bit. I mean, let me know. Are you going to cancel your subscription because of this, or do you know anyone who would? I mean, I still appreciate a lot of the work they do. Which begs the question: should I renew my? I mean, I probably will, because I think a majority of the people who work there are still great people, and I think they still put out some exceptional content that I appreciate. Not that I agree with all of it, of course, but I think at the end of the day, they still provide a tremendous value, and they give a lot of people provide a great opportunity for alternative media than the traditional stuff we get. So let me know. As always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say, even if it takes me a day or two to reply, just due to work. So I'm especially appreciative if you leave a comment. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment, or sharing the video is a great way to assist me, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.